Why you need to audit your friendship circle constantly. Guys, it's Dami here from Clientele Boosters, and today I want to acknowledge a post that I put up on Twitter or Instagram recently, and it was about the importance of constantly auditing your friendship circle. I'm not going to go too specific into this, but I had a scenario where I hired, I guess, a former friend of mine for a contractor kind of role within my agency about a couple months ago. And this guy and I, we were friends since high school, since I was like 12 years old. So I'm 24. So we're talking about a 10-year plus friendship. Kept in touch with each other. When it was his birthday, say happy birthday, vice versa. And, I gave him an account to handle. He was doing X service for X client, for Y client. And this client was actually, a pretty reputable client in a certain part of Melbourne. So it was a great case study, I'll put it that way. And I'm like, you know what? This guy's been managing some of our other smaller clients. I'm going to give him this one. Let's see how he acts. Because you never really know a man's character until he's given more responsibility or he's been given more power. You don't know his character till then, And this was a perfect example of that. So I give him this client to take care of part of their service deliverables. And that client ends up churning. So churning, that for those that aren't in the service-based industry, means like the client leaves. So they were with us for about 7-8 months. Great client, boom, thank you. 3-4 months, actually the birthday of this person, on his birthday, I say happy birthday to him, and he's trying to reach out to me for a couple of months. I'm like, why is this guy trying to reach out to me, so constantly? And I'm like, what's going on? Because, after that account left, he was left with no clients for that part of the year. So he keeps hitting me up and I'm not able to pick up his phone. I finally get to pick up his phone on his birthday because I'm like, it's his birthday. I got to pick up his phone. And I call him. I'm like, hey, bro, happy birthday. Hope you're doing well. He's like, yeah, man. I was like, bro, I've known you for 12 years. And he froze for a few seconds. And he's like, yeah, man, you have. And I was like, okay, that's not normal behavior. Usually people are enthusiastic when you mention that. I'm like, what's up though? And he said, I need to apologize. I'm like, all right, here we go. And turns out the client of mine, because I didn't go to site. I didn't go to visit the client's location. But this guy did, the guy that I hired from high school. So he went to talk to the client. And this guy basically had a conversation with the client. And the client wanted to be upsold by our agency to do more services in a certain department. And I gave my friend, the one that had his birthday, a price to tell the client. And the client declined at the time when he was still a client. But what really happened, based on, what he told me, was that he actually said no, or the client told him to say no to my agency. And then the client said, I'll pay you instead to do it at a cheaper price. And he took the offer. And he said for the last couple of months since he left that client's account, since that client left, it had been eating him up inside. And he just had to tell me. Now, you guys are probably thinking, Dami, did you get really angry? Did you tell him to, get out of here and da-da-da? You know what I did? I said, thank you for being real. I thanked him for being real. Because it's very, very hard to know. Now, before I get into what else I did, I still unfollowed him, right? Still unfollowed him. It's good to create distance when those things happen because it exposes character, but he kept it real with me. How many of your friends... In fact, many of your friends, quote unquote, or acquaintances, you wouldn't even know if they're really your friends or not because they haven't been tested. That's why it's so crucial to audit your friendship group constantly, because you have no idea who really has your back when things are going left or things are going right, and when they have nothing to gain from it or when they do have something to gain from it. So it's so crucial that you constantly audit your friendship circle, because you never know, someone that could be your friend of 12 years could take a check for a couple $100 just because they know it's going to advance their career at the expense of your own business's reputation. I'm telling you guys, especially to those of you, and I'm a man, so I'm going to talk to primarily men here, but even to the ladies as well. If you're young, in your 20s, teens, 30s, and you're starting a new venture, there is zero way you can expect everyone to be happy for you. Get that out of your mind. It's impossible. One of the most dangerous emotions is envy. And that's the hardest to discern and to read. Audit your friendship circles constantly. Small tests. Because I can guarantee you there's probably only going to be 1 to 3 really, really true people that really have your back in the end. Now, maybe I'm a naive 24-year-old, but drop your comments. Let me know what you think about this. What would you have done in this situation? But if you like this kind of content, click the link below. I have a free Skool group where I share more rants, more stories like this. As young as I am, I've got so many of these stories, and they're good because these are the stories that are going to chisel your character. But if you want access to more of a private group with higher level entrepreneurs, there's a paid Skool group. I think it's like $129 a month. And then after that, there's, of course, a program for those that want to learn how to build a mega community. You can click that link below. It shows a bit of my interview with Ty Lopez, who's done over like $500 million in online sales. But anyway, guys, that's some food for thought. Audit your friendship circle. Much love. And as always, guys, think mega. Take care.